Hey guys, you're welcome to another interesting episode of Real Ish Podcast. My name is Happiness Eric, and I'm so excited to see you guys again. Yes, so we're always here to bring you the very hot topic and most exciting moments. And I'm sure you guys are ready to see what we have for you today. So today's topic, we're discussing vendors and brand influencing. So yes, I have two amazing guests in the studio joining me on this conversation. And guys, I'm so excited. But one of them is a lady and another one is a guy. So I'm going to start introduction from the lady because yes, ladies first. Why are you nodding your head, Godwin? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, join me as I welcome Maryjane Udoudo. She's the convener of National Youth Job Fair and also the CEO of Craftivity Reality TV Show. You're welcome to
Thanks for having me. Thank you so much.
And of course, to my very close left, it's our Nollywood actor, Godwin Nnadiekwe. He is the CEO. Gwin is a celebrity booking company. Guys, so if you want to, book your celebrity for any event whatsoever, just reach out to him. And of course, he's going to, give you that celebrity you want, anyone that you want at all. He's going to meet you at the point of your needs. You're welcome to Rich Podcast.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to have you guys
Thank
here.
you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, how you doing? Godwin, you came all the way from Lagos, so yes.
Yeah.
This is not Lagos where you usually have this kind of thing. So how do you feel? What do you have to say?
I feel good to be here. It's you, so
Yeah.
I have to turn up.
See, guys, funny enough, Godwin is always turning up for me. Like anytime I call him, I reach out to him and say, Godwin, you know what? If you're in Abuja, I want you on my show. I mean, this is not the first show I'm inviting you on.
All right.
I'm so excited and I'm honored that you always never say no. And I want to appreciate you right here and right now.
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome.
You see, Maryjane is also saying
Yes,
thank
welcome all the way
you.
from Lagos. I mean,
Yeah.
welcome.
Yes,
I hope
yes.
Abuja is not too cold for you.
Let's not even go there.
No, he was actually complaining and saying Abuja is too dull.
quiet, right?
Yeah.
Too
There's
reserved,
something about
too quiet,
Lagos
too quiet.
people. They are used to noise. They are used to, you guys are used to too much
The
blah,
hustle and
blah.
bustle, that keeps us going.
Yeah.
But that's not life, you know that, right?
But we're used to it.
Anyways, welcome to Real Ish Podcast once again. And the topic is vendor and brand influencing.
Oh, okay.
So yes, we're going to be talking about a lot that happens around the influencing industry. We have a lot of people who are like, not celebrity per se alone, but we have lots of influencers who brands always reach out to and say, you know what, I want to, advertise my brand and I need your platform and all of that stuff. So yeah, Godwin, you are into this industry and somehow you have, vast knowledge about it. I want you to tell us, how do you see the collaboration between brand influencing and a platform like as an actor that you are? I mean, gone are the days where we have, brands go to mainstream media.
Yeah.
Advertising has, shifted from that era,
Right.
and now we are in an era where
New
you just,
media.
you have exactly. What do you think about this new development in the advertising or influencing industry?
For me, I think it's a great partnership.
Right.
When you have vendors and influencers coming together to put out a brand out there. I mean, it's a wonderful partnership. I mean, it has brought in a lot of milestone in people's business. Yes, so I think it's a wonderful collaboration.
What do you think, Maryjane?
Okay. First of all, when talking about branding,
Yeah.
talking about influencing, first of all, you have to start by trying to, what is even a brand? A brand, any product or service, or even individual, I like to add, that is publicly put out there
Right.
and then differentiated.
Yeah.
That's a brand. So these days, people are very intentional. You are a brand.
Right.
And I like the fact that it's no longer like the era where we have to, study this as a career, only reserved for a certain kind of people. Young people these days are doing amazing in trying to carve out a niche for themselves.
Right.
And you can
That's true.
see that online. Do you get? Now, influencing. What is influencing? Influencing is when you kind of, either positively or negatively, you try to enhance something. You have an opinion about something. You try to control how something it's been accepted.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So you, on one hand, you trying to like influence a particular organization or the product or the services, put it together. So it's a very, very powerful market. I'll give you example. You know, few months ago, you see what happened. By the way, influencing can be either positive or negative,
Definitely.
like I said.
Right.
Yeah.
But either ways, it could work to your favor depending on how you choose to use it. I do tell people that advert is advert. Whether publicity is publicity, either negative or otherwise. It depends on how you want to do it. And you can see what young people do these days. That's why most people like the controversial kind of advert works. Do you get? A particular lady came out to try to put out, without being paid, her observation about a brand, about a product. As sincere as she may have been, at the end of the day, you see all the things that played around it.
Right.
She has succeeded in giving free publicity to that brand. She has succeeded in probably, you know, because of not following some due diligence here and there, also affected herself. But like I said, giving free publicity. There are a lot of people who didn't even know about that brand, but after that very controversy, in fact, most people with emotions and sentiment, oh, it's our own. The market shut up.
Right.
There was. Do you understand?
Right.
So, in our society today, it's something that you cannot even do without.
Right.
It's something. It's a huge market that anybody can tap into. But again, I like to also mention that being intentional, it's very important.
Right.
Branding is very vast. It's all
Yeah.
encompassing. Yes.
Yeah.
If you begin to talk about branding, you have to bring packaging. You have to bring a lot of things inside of it.
Yeah.
So also with influencing. Thank you.
Right. She mentioned a lady. You just painted the scenario where you had to mention the lady that made a review of a product.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention the name.
You
of the
don't
product,
even
but-
have to,
but
because
they already know the
Yeah, of
product,
course.
right?
Yeah.
So I want to say something.
Right.
Is it because when you talk about branding and influencing, it also has to do with both the platform and the brand itself.
Sure.
So, for instance, what that lady did, would you say it was handled right by the company? Would you say-
like I said, it depends on the route you want to do it. Trust me. I observed something in our society today. If you want to be, let's say, decent, formal, regular, and the rest of them, you might not even be heard. That's
Right.
why bad news sells faster than good
Faster.
news. I sing. I know how many songs I've written and all that. But the moment you want to take your songs to studios and or to TV stations and the rest of them, you must follow the normal route. You have to. If you're not paying, you go and sit down.
Yeah.
You won't blame them. You won't blame them. But do you know that the moment I try to dress in a very provocative manner or maybe insensitive kind of and stand on the road, I know a lady. You know her niche. She will carry a placard. And write, please, I want to raise money to buy iPhone 15, something ridiculous, on the streets. And people will start some people will laugh at her, some people will she's drawing attention, she's an influencer.
Right.
So now brands will naturally reach out to her to advertise a more serious product because she has been able to, from the back, create something.
Yeah.
So it's not a question of did she do it right or wrong. She may also have her own ulterior motive. Let me also wow you that she may also have some people who would have reached out behind to want to go that route.
In a competitive...
Do you understand?
Yeah.
At the same time, she may also be just innocent. The social media is very funny. A lot of people do a lot of things. I was trying to have a chat with you earlier. I was like, you have to be intentional.
Right.
You have to know. I do not like fighting a fight where maybe I fight because other people are fighting. I fight because I want to fight. So that at the end of the day, even if I'm the only one standing, I own it up to my chest.
Right.
So you could see in between a kind of emotions playing here and there.
Yeah.
Oh, because of our condition. Oh, no. You need to be very, very sure why you are doing what you're doing and the implications. You need information. Do you know that forming groups on some social media platforms, that the author or admin of that group is liable to whatever happens in that group if anything goes wrong? But you might just literally, you see people create groups here and there just for fun, just for whatever. And somebody might leverage on that group and scam a lot of people behind the scene. And you, being the admin, will be held responsible. So you can't say, I just did it for the sake of... No.
But some people were of the opinion that that's what the company did. They didn't handle it well. I mean, you have people who are like your PR, PR staff in the company that handles situations like this. Now, the ideal thing to do in that kind of situation was for you to take advantage of the brand.
He took advantage of it. Trust me. That's why I said
in a good way.
He's a typical businessman. I am not here to support him or anything.
Yeah.
He's a typical businessman. He came out at a time we started seeing emotions here and there. Some parts were like, oh, because of her condition, forgive her. Some parts were like, didn't you know that you were in this condition before you started out to tarnish this person's image? I see a very honest review. I didn't even know that there was a particular content that, like for the first time, I'm hearing that kind of product should have.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it could have been that if also she had good lawyers, she could cash out from that. So as much as you're trying to, like, the company does not care who, that's very individual, has every right to drag that company until they pay her huge. So both parties may not have handled it right, but at the end of the day, what I'm trying to draw out from that is that it made that very company more popular. However you want to see it. First of all, remember that in this country, we are trying to encourage and promote made in Nigeria products.
Right.
Are we trying to say that there are no other products?
But wait, as much as you want to promote made in Nigeria product, is that also okay that we have to consume things that are not good for health?
No,
because
not okay.
Her review was that there was too much sugar in the.
Now,
in fact, I'm going to mention the company's name.
No. If you want
there was too much sugar in the product, which is the tomatoes, and there were several other things. They said that the paste was not, it wasn't meant for making.
Was she able to present? Was she able to present a clinical test to prove that? In all of this that happened, was she able to present? That's why I said, she also had a very good lawyers and team and all of that, and they were able to prove it in court that clinically these tests. But we started seeing a situation where people started saying, oh, because she was pregnant, or because and then the other man also tried to play the sympathy thing that, do you know how many years I built my business? You want to tarnish it over a year? Over a period of time.
But people have made reviews on products before.
I said, it's not online. See, that's another part where we have to be very careful what we say online.
Yeah.
Do you know there are a lot of rumors and fake news that go online, and because it's a platform where people cannot really, the government can't even sensitize it. Do you understand? So you are liable to what you say. Forget about general opinion. There were people who were, really pushing her at the time. By the time she was put at the place she was with, how many of those social media people assisted? How many even tried to get her a sound lawyer to defend her? So you have to be both parties. Yes, they might play the role that if we want to judge it morally, see, when it comes to life, there's a moral standard and there's legal standard.
Right.
So, and I have never seen where moral outshines the legal. Right. I have never. Right. I may have a neighbor, and then my neighbor's child is about to run into a well. Morally, I am obligated to help that child not to drown.
Right.
Legally, it's none of my business. As mean as it may sound, because I might also try to help, and then something happens, and I'm like, who sent you? So when we also want to judge cases, we should be very intentional. That's why I said, at the point she set out to do that, if she was, I'm not trying to judge holistically because I don't know what propelled her.
Yeah.
Trust me, some other people can still use that advantage and make money. Do you understand? So on both parties, yes, the man had he used both emotions and legal and money.
What would you say? What would you advise? You said she would have used it to make money, to cash out from this.
No, it may not have been. No, I'm not saying she should. Of course, it would be mean for you to you set out. I started by saying that she was probably making an honest review. But sometimes your honesty is not enough for you to. You might land yourself in trouble. You have to be intentional. Right. That's what I'm saying. You have to be very intentional, holistically, not just about that.
So Godwin, you've been so quiet on this matter. But in terms of actors now in this situation, I know this one. I want to really hear. Want to really hear your honest opinion. Would you say, as an actor, for instance, there's a product that, because I've noticed that in this part of the world, we're very careful not to offend, maybe the pap that be something like that.
Okay.
And in that process, like a lot of things go wrong.
Okay.
Now you're an actor, right? Because most of your colleagues, because they are scared of making a review of a product or a service, right? They are scared of calling out that product, so that brands will avoid
them,
you. They don't want to attach with someone that this brand is so familiar with calling out brands, so we're not going to give him our product or our service to advertise. So what do you really have to say about that? Because truly, most actors, I've never seen a situation where actors would like boldly come out and say,
this is not good.
Yes.
BDM is doing a great job.
BDM is not an actor.
Okay.
He's not an actor. He's not even a celebrity.
Are you serious?
Yes.
He has become.
I'm trying to get your question right.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what do you want to get out of this now? I'm trying to.
I want to know because most of you guys now, right? You tend to play safe, right? Probably because of the brand that you've built, and maybe because of the way most Nigerians would, perceive situations. I would say that most Nigerians are they're not logical in thinking, right? So maybe an actor comes out and says, okay, brand A, I've used the product, I had this reaction, as much as like you mentioned that, competitors might be behind some of these things. Is it not also okay?
Exactly.
Actors, they have great influence, right?
Sure.
They have, these are people that, have influence to convince a lot of people, quite
Sure.
a
They have
large
audience,
number of people, that this thing, I don't like it, or this thing is like this. So, you guys can actually stay clear from this product. Do you think it's safe, or most actors are just playing safe, or do you think it's just you guys just deliberately not wanting to?
Okay. First of all, as an actor or as a brand influencer, you have the influence. Okay,
Right.
so now you are trying to bring in your influence, your credibility
Right.
to this brand. So first, you have to be very, very careful. You have to know if this brand align with your values, with your lifestyle. Do you understand? Those are things you have to put into cognizance.
Right.
So because a lot of people has gone ahead overlooking these things, and they just go ahead and like be,
They just pick up any
be
Yeah,
influencing something.
yes.
At the end of the day,
Money.
because of the money, at the end of the day, you realize that they actually don't have any alignment
Yeah.
with this,
Yeah.
with the brand
Brand
That's not
message or whatever it is trying to put out there. So it's always very important as an influencer, as an actor, to be very, very careful to what you promote, to what you influence, because these things has after effects.
Implications.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's very
I've seen cases like that.
So, I know that I know that Very Dark Man has called out some of your colleagues, for
Right.
pushing out
Products.
alleged. I won't say because I'm not sure.
I like that.
Alleged, according to him, these products are not so healthy,
Standard, yeah.
Yes.
for consumers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and he has also called out Ashimushi in terms of like, because sometimes credibility as a brand or as an influencer comes into play as well. So he just looked for a way to have to just bring in, maybe the relationship that a brand will have with a company, right, in terms of advertising. So do you think that most brands and most companies just overlook some of these things in terms, how do I put this question now? There's a lot in my head. Okay, do you think Very Dark Man is actually doing a great job? Because I don't want to talk about him in my podcast again, because like it's been like the straight fifth or fourth time I'm mentioning him on my podcast, and I don't want to make it like a thing. So yes, but Ashimushi was also called out for something similar to not just about influencing wrong products, but because she felt because it was alleged that she took money from a certain guy and she didn't do the job. You know, do you think he's actually doing a great job? Because Very Dark Man actually is playing, according to people, he's playing a major role in trying to see how we can curb most of these things that most influencers neglect, like things like, you know, not checking out the product properly, things like you know, taking money from people and not, you know,
delivering on the job.
Delivering on this job.
Yeah, but well, to me, I think he's doing a great job in some instances, and in some cases,
It might be
he
seen to
gets
be
it
doing too
wrong
much.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes, as a human though. And I've seen situations whereby some people get to refund. If we're talking about Smushi, I mean,
Yeah.
she ended up refunding the
okay.
1 million naira, which I find very intriguing.
Yeah,
You
because
get, so I applauded him for that. Some cases he gets it wrong, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes he gets it right, sometimes he doesn't. But he's doing a great job, irrespective.
yeah. Also, Nnadiekwe, you know, is another person I want to talk about when it comes to influencing and, you know, brand relationship. Recently, you know, there was a fight between she and, you know, a car dealer. We don't know the backstory, right? Because, of course, she didn't mention the story. She didn't really explain what happened. It was just Very Dark Man, you know, coming out to say this, that. It's not enough to you know, draw your conclusions, right? Because there's always two sides to a story.
Of course.
Right.
But I'm just worried. When I saw that, you know, whole drama, I was just worried, right? Her anger might be valid. You know, you push people, sometimes you don't just tell how they react, right? Or you don't have the right to tell people how they react when you get them pissed.
Of course.
But I was just so scared that, okay, this is actually a public figure. And then this
Acting
thing,
like that?
you know, acting like this. And would brand really, because I was just scared. So this question is to you, Godwin, because I know for you guys, most of the times you try to live your life very carefully, so you don't do some certain things or offend people, and then you get cancelled at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, you guys are human, so you want to just be yourself. So if you get pissed and you get offended,
Right.
you react. Do you think that reaction was going to affect any kind of you know, brand influencing that, you know, was supposed to come to her in any way?
Oh yes, in most cases.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
character.
Yeah,
you know,
in
character
most
comes in.
cases,
The attitude is everything, yeah.
Brands, they are looking, they are watching these
Yeah,
things. You get, so in most cases they wouldn't want to work with this particular fellow, and you still see brands who just overlook whatever it is and still want to, you know, come
Do you
in
think
and
that's
work with the
okay?
person.
Because most brands, I feel like most of them do this because they want to chase clout, or because that person is actually what is, you know,
I feel-
the talk of the town at the moment.
Exactly. I feel
You've
people
answered it. I
people
mean,
just go for let's say
traffic.
the traffic,
traffic.
the person's popularity,
The more controversial, the better.
irrespective of if this person's values and objectives align with
Yeah.
whatever brand message they are trying to put out
Put
there.
out.
Yeah.
So they pay deaf ears to this kind of thing. They just still want to work with you.
Because I know that there are amazing talents out there who are very good at their crafts, you know, but you will never see them in any controversial topics. But I don't know, for some reasons, brand will always look at
go for someone that is very, very
controversial. So would you say, because, you know, like she said earlier, like, you know, no publicity is bad publicity. I mean, that's what most of them thrive on.
I think in most cases, most people don't really care. They just want to. So once you have traffic, once you have engagement, you have the likes, the clicks, the views, they want to work with you. So they don't really care what your values are. They just want to work with you for their own personal gains. And in some situations, it backfires, because at the end of the day, this message has been passed to the wrong audience.
Right.
To get.
Yeah.
So
in essence, what you're trying to say is, when it's passed to the wrong audience, you don't get to, because at the end of the day, every product, the end goal is to see that your product is not just, you know, being visible out there. You just want to make money out of
exactly,
it.
yes, no.
So at the end of the day, have you encountered any, or do you know of any, you know, situation where brands who affiliate with controversial public figures or
Individual,
influencers.
Of course, yes. I've seen situations whereby, let's say, a musician just maybe his or her sex tape just like out there. Most brands will pull out because they don't want to associate with such a person.
In Nigeria.
In Nigeria,
Yes,
yes.
of course.
I've seen
yes,
situations
correct.
whereby people lose deals,
Because
contracts,
of
whatever,
attitude or image,
endorsement
yeah.
deals, because of what they put out there, because of what's trending. I've seen
He's correct because
Yeah.
again it goes a long way to say what are your you made mention of getting to understand what the goals, the targets,
Yeah.
the aim. It's so bad these days that people don't even dig deep.
Yeah.
For the love of the money, for
Exactly,
whatever.
yeah.
You see somebody trying to promote a particular product. We all know that this lady or this guy is naturally fair. But you coming out to tell us that it's because you're using this particular cream, oil, or whatever.
Exactly. That's
And then
another
because
angle.
because you
That's
have
another angle.
because you have a lot of, gullible followers
Yeah.
who would naturally want it because it's a typical person that's how I want to do it. They watch it. Celebrities are actually supposed to be like idols,
Exactly.
role models.
No, but gone are the days it
In
was
the
like
real
that.
sense, do you get? So that's what brands leverage on. They've been able to, first of all, your craft, your talent, your skills have been able to push you to that level where people look up to you.
Yeah.
So they are actually coming to pay for your traffic. And a particular brand that associates itself with you already know what you represent. And that's why they're coming there. So I like to also mention that, see, it's not every brand that likes controversial people. Yes.
True.
I made mention of a particular brand that I was to reach out to, and they're like, look, the reason we wouldn't join a particular set is because we don't buy the idea of them promoting controversy. It's not like we are condemning them or whatever, but that's not our call. People have aims, objectives, goals, and what have you. And I don't think that any serious-minded company will just wake up and want to, follow another route because they are making money. No, they have to stick to their goals. Any organizations, and they must. There's always a target audience for every brand.
right.
You are a podcaster. You have your niche.
Yeah.
You can't say because a typical maybe a typical VDM likes to call out people, and then you want to begin to you will fumble, you will make mistakes.
Right.
He already has his own audience. You follow yours. It's the same way with the music industry.
True.
Some inspirational gospel artists, they don't have to go over the rooftop. They have their audience.
Right.
So yes, there are people that naturally controversy sells, and when they want to do anything controversial, they know the people they call for. So it's about identity, and it's a pity that most times you have identity crisis. And then about the question you literally initially were like, why is it that some celebrities don't call out brands that are probably deceiving people? Let's use that word.
Yeah.
Legally again. You don't just dab into things. Don't be surprised that the typical VDM also has some backings. You might be looking at it that he's just calling out people and the rest of them because you see constantly in between he lands into police, would you want to go that route? And do you have the kind of connect he has? Because oftentimes you also might have made mistakes in trying to say that, you didn't get this and didn't get that, but meanwhile you did. So there is also the legal aspect of it. Yes, as much as the particular brand is putting out because there's always these hidden messages that they don't get to put out for whatever reason. But do you have the right? Do you know that several times crime will occur, and if nobody goes to report to the police station, there's nobody that pushes that case.
Yeah.
The police will literally tell you, but nobody came to
Nice.
report.
Yeah.
So you just emotionally be saying, but it's bad, it's wrong, but who came to report? Are you ready to report? Do you understand? And in some cases, even when you report, there must be procedures. And a particular brand, let's take for instance, I got an information about a particular Nollywood star. If I mention his name, you will know. He was supposed to represent a brand, a network, a communication brand. He traveled to probably Ghana or something. And a particular fan, so to speak, threw a question at him. He was like, what do you think about our own network company here in Ghana? Two things he would have done. He would have leveraged on the fact that, look, I'm already representing some brand. You might just be like, you're doing well, but not like you get.
Well, is it the same same brand,
Okay, let me
or
give-
same similar
No!
kind of business, or
Let's say you are representing MTN, for instance.
okay.
and a Glow is asking you, how is Glow in Ghana? And you're like, oh, Glow is fine. Are you okay? You can literally say, nobody, no network beats my MTN everywhere you go. He was dropped. Because you can't be an ambassador of Guinness and you are caught drinking, is it Lagavia or whatever? That means you don't even know what. Do you understand?
To be able to promote.
So as much as I don't agree with what this company is putting out, I should also watch it not to overstep my bound.
Right.
Now, let me also share some information about what some celebrities do. As long as they are being funded, you've seen a lot of women doing a lot of plastic this, that, telling you that they are good. Do you know that a particular celebrity came out to apologize to the fans for misleading them? That, in fact, she fell victim. They damaged her. That's when she was bold enough to come out to begin to apologize to a lot. You know, the number of young ladies that have been misled. So sometimes, like you rightly said, know your product, KYC, do your checks. You must not accept every influencing role that comes to you.
Yeah.
Stand for something. If it doesn't agree with the kind of things you want to promote, when I was starting off as a young, artist wanting to be here and there, and I ran into some people who were like, okay, they want to promote you, but they don't like the fact that you don't have this sexual aura around your music, even your artwork. I can't do it. It doesn't appeal to me because it doesn't have this commercial kind of sexual. I was like, for crying out loud, I'm a gospel artist. How do I want to begin to show you my cleavages and all of that when I'm supposed to? So I have two options: either to go haywire and begin to, so that they carry me, or to stick to what I'm doing. As long as I'm able to find my audience, it's okay. Do you understand? So there are a lot of reasons why they may not want to call out. I mean, who is your whatever in this? You don't want to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Even your brand can even drop you for wanting to dab into, because directly or indirectly you might make them very popular with that.
True.
And you don't want to do free advert, whether negative or positive.
So now let's even talk about the consumers of these brands.
Okay.
Because most Nigerians are, would I use the word gullible?
Yeah.
because when situations like this comes up, you still find people defending these guys.
Yeah.
It's scary
Yeah.
when somebody says this product is not so good,
Yeah.
and then because the person is your fave,
Yeah.
you're all out there and you know deep down that this product is bad. But you're just out there, fighting and cursing out people, insulting people, and it still boils down to the kind of people that are being made influencers. Because, a lot of people don't even know who to, again, I know I've had this conversation in one of my episodes where we talked about, influencing, celebrities and how they influence their fans. A lot of people don't know how to think for themselves.
Yeah.
So, and that is why this influencing,
it's
comes
a big
in.
business.
You have to convince people, and then a lot of people just buy into it. Now, do you also think that fans actually also pay? Do you think they contribute to this particular situation? Because sometimes I like to go to comment sections. If I see things like this, I'll just go to the comment section. I will sit there with my chair, and I'll be watching.
You are very correct. You see, take it or leave it. In fact, I like to, if I want to help myself, if everybody's like me, the world will be a very boring place. And that's why we need people who are like, even if they are looking at this as why they say it's black.
Gullible people.
Yeah.
And do you know that sometimes you might even want to why is it black? Why is it black? And that's one very perfect feature about scientists. They'll tell you that, the reason this is this, it's kind of widens your creative or your imaginative ability.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Now, I come back to your question. I think it was, I don't know if it was Udoudo or somebody or Shakespeare. No, nothing is good or bad. Our thinking makes it so. If you want to sit on that statement, you're like, okay, a typical Coca-Cola might be very terrible for you because of your sugar level. But here I am, if I don't take Coca-Cola, I'm not saying that I'm just trying to I wouldn't get my energy. Would you naturally say that Coca-Cola is bad? It serves its purpose. If you know your body system, you see, coming from the beauty industry as well, I do know that before you conduct facials for your clients, you need to check the skin texture. I've had people market, oh, come and do facials. It's now very low. You can do it for 5,000. It's not about the money. It's about the after effects. And then you get into a place that is supposed to, like, after they told you that all your wrinkles and whatever will go, and then 2 days after, you see pimples everywhere. What happened? You did not check to see if I needed a deep tissue massage or deep scrubbing or whatever. And as a result of whatever you have done, my skin pores are now reacting to it.
Yeah.
Would you say that facials is bad? No. You did not check to see if this suits me. So there should also be, it boils down to the kind of people we really call influencers. It's a pity. It's a pity that nothing, in fact, we have free market in Nigeria. Anybody can become anything.
Yeah.
In fact, the one that scares me the most is the journalism industry. Everybody's a journalist.
Tell me more. Really?
But you know that there are some places, there are some places that you can't take up any role until you are certified to avoid all of this.
Yeah.
So the truth is that the audience are there to consume whatever you put out. And they are entitled to their opinion. It's now left for you as an informed person to judge. I have seen people who, you might say that, oh, this is a very stubborn person, but because of their acts, because of their creativity, people still sought after them. This because when it comes to their job, they are very diligent and they are so detailed. So anybody can want to think or do anything. If you want to judge your opinion of a particular product based on what random reviews that people give, you might make mistakes. I like what you see when you want to download an app. They will tell you something. They will like, information begins from, I think, collection of data. So they are trying to inform you that be aware that as you're downloading this thing, your information are being taken.
Yeah.
Then you also go a step further. You see what people would have said about that particular app. You can see some grumbling, or like you can see. So when you check maybe like 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm like, okay, I can try. Those are also some sincere reviews that you can, but doesn't mean that that's also 100% okay. So most times people are entitled that I might take that product and it's good, and I'll give the review based on the way it affected me.
Yeah.
I do not join crowd in fighting. I give the review, and then you can also, I think the brands should be sincere enough to tell us the content. They shouldn't hide. They should tell us that, oh, this contains this quantity of sugar, and if you're a diabetic patient, you stay off this. Don't, because you want to sell, and then just hide that information. That's where the agencies of government, the SON, should come in. It's a pity because these kind of things are no longer working. That's why the likes of VDM comes to, fill up that gap. If not, the SON, the human rights, whatever, and the rest of them, they are supposed to be on this. And then it will also scare off anybody who tends to dab into that area that is not irrespective of what you are, even if you're a celebrity. Yes.
You want to say something, Dave?
No, I mean, you should take charge of the show. I'm listening. It's your show, yeah?
Because I was just going to come to the part where she said, the government agencies are supposed to actually, but she already mentioned that because, look, the only reason why we're having this situation is the fact that, people who are in these positions do not take responsibility.
Yes.
And that is why you see people who, I'm not going to say he's not doing a good job. He's doing a good job, right? When it comes to, monitoring products and all that. But, sometimes when people who are not supposed to be given a particular, attention.
There's already a vacuum. He's filling up, yes.
It's
with his own level of knowledge.
Exactly. So I just feel like the government also, or the agencies in charge, also have a lot of work to do, in terms of regulating most of these products that we consume.
Yeah.
Just recently, what's his name? This popular video director, what's his name?
TG Omori.
TG Omori, yes. I understand that, a lot of there was this argument that it could be the level of alcohol that he must have taken. It could be that not their fake alcohol that he must have taken.
Consumed.
Some people are saying it's not even just alcohol. Most of our youth these days usually is a random thing now that we have kidney failures and all that. But at the end of the day, you cannot take away the fact that there are fake drinks out there that a lot of people consume. Yeah. And these people who are supposed to, in quotes, do you get?
Yes.
They are just seated in the office doing nothing.
Let me add, are you aware that the kind of drinks, like all these are minerals and the rest of them, it's not the same concussion for foreign counterparts.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So
the taste are usually different.
Even the content. I have seen this, the real zero sugar Coca-Cola and the rest of them, and it's so expensive. Do you understand? It's already, your mindset is already like, just to buy the Coca-Cola I have to pay 4K for what, when I can get it for 250 or 350. Do you understand? So now the regulatory bodies, what are they doing? Would they rather pay what's it called, the commissions to the government, and then not get the NAFDACs? What are they doing?
Yeah.
Do you understand? Recently, I think it's the NAFDAC chairman that was trying to encourage people not to store or overstore their soup in the fridge for so long a period of time. Do you know that people make soups and it goes for like 3, 4, 5 months and they are still consuming it, believing that it's healthy, until this kind of information came out? Yes, people will tell you that, oh, we're a wealthy man. You understand? Meanwhile, you are killing yourself. The days of our great-grandparents, they just literally go to their farm, they pluck vegetables and make fresh and acid hot. Do you understand? And they're living 80, 90, 100 and above. And then here we are in our tech world, tech food, tech this, fry that. So all of those things are part of what, on a normal day, should be the function of the government, but where they fail. So you see a lot of loopholes. Anybody can become an influencer to whatever product that you don't even have an idea. Then let me also mention that there's a difference between an ambassador and an influencer.
Okay.
An ambassador is actually supposed to consume the product or the service that you are marketing.
Yes.
That way you'll be able to have an idea of a review.
Yeah.
I take it back again to that same scenario. Does a typical Erisco have an ambassador? Or probably would have made Chidinma a typical ambassador to be able to like review that, or come out in any way that they have gotten it wrong. Do you understand? I think it's something that will also unify that kind of traffic instead of dividing it.
And
So
remember when I mentioned
I'm trying to.
The PR team did actually handle that situation.
Well,
properly.
everybody believe that they are experts in their own space, and like I said, you stick to what you are good at. I cannot typically leave my creative industry now and begin to talk about tomato and the when a Hidabasi is there.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So you focus on so that you are not like everywhere and then begin to like, because sometimes you also might confuse your audience. Do you understand? So now it boils down to understanding what role. Some people are like, okay, they just literally made you an influencer. You're supposed to just throw a hype to a product,
right?
And then you begin to sound like an ambassador.
Again, most people don't even let's say influencers. Most of them don't even consume.
They don't.
What they are
putting out there.
Yeah. That's one big problem. That is why it's always very important to work in alignment with products that you understand, products that you consume.
Yeah.
Do you get? So it's been a huge problem.
Yeah.
I've seen an advert where a popular actress, I'm not going to mention her name, she was advertising a product, right? A skincare product. And this actress is very, very light-skinned.
Okay.
Now, she was advertising and then she just, just picked some quantity and just dropped it on her face. Just did, you could just tell that it was so fake.
It's not her product.
She doesn't even use it. You could tell.
Probably don't.
So it's. I mean,
but for the money,
they can do better, right?
But for the money, and then on the brands, like you said, why is it that brands don't try to give opportunities to young creatives who are just upcoming? Why must they keep dwelling on should I use the same old circles? The industry is very redundant. They do not like to grow with you. They do not like to discover their own kind of. They want to leverage on already made. So these already made people, they already know their worth. So they already know that they are chasing after the traffic. So it doesn't really matter if they use it or not. Do you understand?
I think most times it all boils down to the vendors. I mean, they are the basic problems. They just want to go for a bankable face or a popular face.
Yes.
There are lots of micro influencers out there with huge engagement rates.
Yeah.
Likes, but then they wouldn't want to go for them. But I'm happy that things are beginning to change.
Thanks to new media, social media.
There are so many platforms. There is TikTok, there is Instagram, there is Facebook. There are a lot of platforms that people are using to reach their specific audience.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, It's not about them again.
I know, right? Thank you guys so
Thank you. You're
much.
welcome.
It's been a very educative and informative
Yeah,
conversation.
very interactive, I must say.
I really,
Learning.
appreciate your time and, all that you have to say concerning this topic. And I also just want to add that, the government should, or agencies who are responsible for this
Government
thing should,
agencies,
take
yeah.
it up seriously, because some of these brands who are the real brands are actually suffering. They are suffering because there are so many adulterated products
Products,
out there
yeah.
Out
that are
there.
imitating
Exactly.
legit brands, and it's killing
Exactly.
businesses. It's not
Exactly.
really,
That's another angle to it.
yeah.
Not just business,
That's
killing
another-
people.
Killing
The
people,
consumers.
you get, and then someone will come and say, "Oh, I bought this product," whereas the
I-
product itself
Yes.
is not even
It's
that
not the
bad.
real one.
Yeah.
And permit me to also add, in fact, it's a plea to the government.
Yeah,
The health sector, it's in shambles. You don't know the
Exactly.
amount of paracetamol that we consume, and you still feel
that
headache.
one.
You don't know the amount of anti-malaria drugs here and there, and then it feels like you have not even started treating, and you are even almost getting addicted.
Yeah,
You run tests here and there, and it's
It's
something
scary.
that needs to it's called for urgent attention. Trust me.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and I believe that due diligence, it goes down to the agencies who are supposed to do the right thing. Sometimes they overlook a lot of things. People literally set up pure water factories and then they go behind their doors
that
and
one is another.
I mean,
like,
and
so
because
many-
somebody somewhere in your office has already given out numbers and gotten paid, you don't even bother to. Then by the time you begin to realize this, a lot of souls have been, tampered with.
Damaged.
So we need in all aspects, not just the beauty industry,
Yeah.
every angle.
Yeah.
Pay
Every
close
angle, yes.
attention.
The agencies should,
Close
live up to
attention.
it. Because it will still come back to you.
definitely
That drug that you refuse to check well, it
Yeah.
could be your aged mother. That
It
will
could be
consume
your
it.
kids, it could be your,
Do you
siblings,
understand?
it could be anybody
Look at what's
around.
happening in the area of buildings collapsing here and there. Is it that somebody did not test the soil well?
Negligence.
The due diligence, do you understand? So somehow it will still come back to you. It might be the day that your son or your brother or your whatever will lodge in that particular hotel and the building goes haywire.
Goes
And then you
haywire.
remember that you are the one that did not certify that thing properly because of money. So let's get it right. I believe that when we get it right, we'll be able to, achieve a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Maryjane.
Thanks for having us. You're doing a great job, by the way.
Thank you so much.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. I really
Yes,
appreciate
finding your
it.
space. You're doing a great job.
I didn't really think that this conversation was going to get this broad. I just thought we're just
It
going
is
to
a very
just
broad
brush the surface. But
Yeah, I mean, it's
You
a
know.
deep one, yeah.
yes, thank
You
you
can
so
exhaust it.
much. Thank you, Godwin, also for coming. And before we go, I would like to say also again that if you want to book your celebrity or your favorite celebrity for any kind of event,
Right.
you can always reach out to Godwin. His Instagram handle is going to just, pop right now below the screen, so he can give you your favorite celebrity that you want. If you want
Yes.
for appearances, for any performances, any kind of
Whatever it
events
is.
at all. So yeah, he's the
Social,
easiest
all
route
of
that you
them.
can go through instead of trying to reach this celebrity and then you are trying to
Yes.
how I want this
so
person.
Godwin, we are going to work together. Permit me,
know.
because
That'd be nice.
like why do we find ourselves in this situation? It's because a lot of people are not genuinely engaged, and by God's grace, with the kind of things I do currently, I'm trying to pull. I was telling you, I'm trying to pull young people in one space with employers of labor. I call it National Youth Job Fair. So what are we trying to seek? A lot of people are talking about minimum wage. Some people don't even have the wage to start with.
Yeah.
So we are reaching out to companies to say, absorb these young minds, either as interns, either as trainees, and the rest of
Right.
them. And we know that you can do a lot in terms of influencing.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are a
yes,
lot of
yes,
celebrities
yes.
that we can talk to one or two ways, and then they will be able to come on board to get the
Yes,
companies. We are the government. It's not just the president at
Yeah,
that level. Do you
yeah,
understand? To
yeah.
be able to make this happen. So
Yeah.
thank you. You're doing a great job.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank
I
you.
was
Thank you so
supposed to, I was also coming to you, but you've done everything. You said it
Yeah,
all.
I said it all.
Thank
Say
you
your
so
market.
much.
Yeah, say your
Thank
market. Godwin. All right, thank you
Yeah.
guys so much. And also for you guys that are watching, I really appreciate your time, for sticking around till the very end of this show. And until next time, when we will come your way with in fact, more interesting topic. My name is Happiness Eric. Do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel like, share to friends and family, and also possibly even your enemies.
Daddy, what's that
All right,
first?
until next time, and I'll come your way. Bye.
Yeah.